Welcome back to episode 13 of the Job Hunt LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some controversial news. For some, it might be heartbreaking, but for some, this might be amazing news. Me and Dean gathered around for episode 12.5 hidden and had a conversation, and we fired Marcus. It was in the company's best favor to fire Marcus because of what happened in between me, Dean, and the Job Hunt LLC. In episode 12, we finally got out of our hostage situation with the Job Hunt LLC. However, we were in some legal bullshit with them. Me and Dean beat the case, we beat the lawsuit, and now have a strong budget to run the company. Strong budget. Dean, hop
We
in.
beat the allegations.
We beat the allegations. We're still not allowed to talk about it, legal shit. But Dean, tell them about our new, strong, amazing, big budget. Tell them what that price is.
Okay, so our new budget, and obviously, this is a big deal for us over at the Job Hunt LLC. I do look at the finances here and there, contrary to what people say, but our new budget is actually $5.23.
Let's go.
Let's go.
$5.23. That's gonna get us very far. That would probably get a little pay raise for Sai, and hopefully a little pay raise for everyone else. We're just not telling anyone yet that we got that new budget, so kind of okay. But hey, we're a good company. We're ethical. We're moral, and since we're an ethical and moral company, I have to do my part and make sure the company is running smoothly. We need more staff. I don't fucking care about our budget. We need more staff, okay? Hey, I did some research myself for the first time ever, and I went on a popular app called TikTok, okay? So I'm kind of just scrolling through TikTok, and my phone blows up. It just exploded. So we're gonna try to up that budget and get a new company phone to do more research. And I went across, I was looking around for different cheap phone options and everything. We ran to a guy. Okay. We went to the store and there was just this booming ass beat playing in the store. We were like, what's going on in here? Huh? What's going on in here? All right. And a man walks out of the door and he says, Alex, I'm ready to do whatever for the Job Hunt LLC. And so he's here for an interview today. Everyone, drum roll. Crazy interview from Los Angeles, California. We have J Noir with us here today. J Noir, how are you doing?
Amazing. Happy to be here, Alex.
Go.
Dino-matic.
Dino-matic.
Amazing. It's
I
automatic.
never commented on Dean's name this time. Dean usually has some crazy goofy name. Last time it was just Dean. Dean, what was up with that? What happened?
I like to keep it interesting. Sometimes it's a crazy ass name, something that has maybe nothing to do with my original name. Other times it's just Dean.
That was that, bro. I almost had to give you a pay cut over there.
Dang.
I almost had to give you a pay cut, dude. All right. Also, we fired Marcus. Who knows? We might bring him back, but Marcus got us into some deep legal shit. I know he has the 90 decibel high pitched voice and so nice, but now we had to let him go. He's very deceiving on the inside. So we're gonna start this interview off today with one of Dean's very, very famous questions, because we know J Noir here is very, very interested in working for the company, and we need to know a lot about him. We need to get down to the down and the dirty. And so, Dean, if you don't mind asking the first question of the day.
Now, J Noir, I know you've watched a little bit of the show, so you probably had some time to prepare for this question, but tell us about yourself.
My anxiety is killing me. I don't know if I can answer. I am 26 years old, born on October 17th, 1996 in Rota, Spain, to a Navy man and a very fashionable, hardworking young woman named Geneva. And I've been making house beats because that's been the sort of foreshadowed theme in a brother's life recently. Was simping for a girl that shuffled her ass off, and I was like, oh, I could put this heartbreaks somewhere. But then I realized I liked it for me, and that shit low key kind of jazzy. Just got forward to the floor. But I started off, really just being a angsty young tween poet, and realized that rap really was rhythm and poetry. And I was like, you know what? Fuck all the bullshit. I'm Kanye. I can just, minus the anti-Semitism, I can just go ahead and make my own beats. And I really kind of took that almost like a manga artist. Like I can write the characters and I could draw the characters. I can write stories, write the bars, and I can also paint those illustrations as well. And that's been a process that started like 2014 on a big ass laptop, producing beats when I should have been paying attention in class. By God's grace, I graduated, and it's been medicine for me in throughout the years, many different instances in my life. And, finally just putting those silent hours in and making boo-boo ass beats, it's really touching people. And they're, more and more often I'm getting the just like, why aren't you blown up yet? And I'm like, well, I got to drop more shit. But also, the art is speaking for itself. But more will be unveiled. But that's definitely a little about me right now.
Okay, so we just unpacked a lot of stuff. And considering that this is your first ever podcast, correct?
First music podcast.
This is the
first music podcast. First music focused podcast. Yes. And then, honestly, two. So this is a close. I wouldn't even put silver medal. I feel like that's disrespectful. That's why I emphasize first music podcast. You know what I mean? Because Apple Music, they coming after you. Right. Spotify live sessions, they coming after you.
100%. But one day they're gonna be working for the Job Hunt LLC too.
They will be acquired.
Come on, that's too easy.
Come on,
but
it's light.
We did learn a lot about J Noir right now. 4 on the floor, house beat guy. Personally, I think you and I have a lot of in common. Okay, house beats, just crazy house production that's been going on. And you're based in LA. I'm from LA.
Gang.
It's just a beautiful thing going on over here, right?
Copacetic.
Come on. Humans have a lot in common with each other. So I found J Noir on TikTok. I was just scrolling through TikTok and heard this just crazy ass beat. And we might have heard him right now talking about, oh, when are you gonna blow up? Like, that's the beat, I feel like. That's the fucking beat I saw. You know which beat I'm talking about too. The one where you're outside, like in front of like your garage, I think.
Yeah, outside my apartment.
Outside
literally just like, let me go ahead and make one of those TikToks with the big ass caption in front, not overcomplicated.
That was a booming ass.
It was perfect.
That shit was crazy. What I heard was it sounded pretty like experimental, like experimental, but very housey still. You want to tell us about that beat, like about that production?
Absolutely. And I mean, like, if the speakers would allow it, we could definitely we could play that for y'all. I don't know how that would work on the Zoom, but we could definitely work that out.
100%. We'll put Marcus on duty to never mind, we fired Marcus. We'll put it in the video.
R.I.P. Marcus. R.I.P. Marcus. Shouldn't have been so deceptive. But see, the thing is, like, I definitely kind of come, even when I rap, definitely have like very little in common with like Lil Durk and, so let's just say like Playboy Cardi, just throw two particular archetypes that are like really popular right now. Definitely, and all my influences is definitely like, Childish Gambino, it's Erykah Badu, but then it's like Paco de Lucia with his classical guitar. And I do like Chami, Wax Motif, AC Slater, but I don't think, just even though there is some value in studying and replicating, inherently, if it's coming from me, it's a little experimental and it's still going to be pulling from multiple things. The musical process, as far as me like producing, and I would say, almost with writing as well, it's me riffing off of myself. If you ever seen like a jazz band play and the dude says, and then the guy on the key says, and they're having that conversation, I'm being a psychopath talking to myself with the melody. So God is airdropping Oh, bro, start off with the boots, and then he airdrops again, and I'm riffing off of that, and then it's like, okay, well, drop it out and do like a womp, 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 and then another airdrop. I'm riffing off of that, and I drop a vocal sample here. I put the keys over here, and it's a flowing process. I dive into it, and then I come up for air, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm soaked.
Okay.
Oh shit,
I
it's a
see.
starfish on me.
I like the airdrop analogies you're making because I definitely feel the same way too when it comes to production. I'm just like, damn, I'm just waiting for like a signal from God. But it's interesting to see that like some of your like biggest inspirations are artists like Playboy Cardi, Lil Durk, and then you have the like the contrary, which is like Erica Badu, that kind of stuff. But
I do have to clarify, I don't listen to Lil Durk at all.
really,
And I listen to like a little bit of Playboy Cardi. I mentioned that because I'm nothing like them and there's nothing to soak them in. If I had to give you like the honorable mentions, the big honorable mentions is D'Angelo, it's Erica Badu, it's Marvin Gaye, Childish Gambino, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I really like Chami, that's like a house guy. AC Slater got some bangers. There's a house group called Chaos in the CBD that's just like real jazzy with it. Like, you know, I'm realizing as I'm getting into this house world, quotes, parentheses, house is different from just like the big ass house EDM umbrella.
right?
And it's actually more jazzy. But then I also like, you know, some of the more electronic serum plug-in sounding stuff that maybe like a Wax Motif or a Chami might make. You know what I mean? Or a DJ Fresh.
Manipulating it to your own style.
Exactly. So that's the filter that I'm coming through. So I mean, if we're talking about the influences, it's Childish Gambino's because of the internet. We're talking about it is Damn to Pimp a Butterfly. We're talking about His Mama's Gun by Erica Badu, or hearing Bobby McFerrin, who's crazy. Do you guys know who Bobby McFerrin is?
I'm not familiar with Bobby McFerrin.
I'm not familiar.
This is his brother, bro. He might be African. And the crazy thing is, I might have met him when I was working at Express in Topanga Mall, and he's like, "You're a nice young man." Mind you, I could just be racist, and this dude is just like another black man with dreadlocks. But it might have very well been him because Loki, I feel like he's like, "Yeah, my name's Bobby." And he's like, "You're a nice young man. I want you to meet my daughter." I'm like, "Shit, hook it up." But this dude is amazing. He, do you know Jacob Collier by any chance? Okay, the archetype for Jacob Collier. Like Jacob is in a league of his own, music theory, negative harmony, you know, but when you see him conducting an entire audience to use their voices, the sauce that he got that from is Bobby McFerrin, because his voice, when you say your voice is an instrument, he takes that to the utmost level and is literally like using his voice to do the upright bass, the double bass, and then goes and morphs his voice into the trumpet, into the saxophone. Like his voice is the instrument, and he's conducting choirs. He'll conduct the audience, but like that is crazy.
Right.
And that's the stuff that, dare I say, kind of gives me the tingles. And then I'm like, all right, I gotta do something with what I got. I still gotta take my vocal lessons so I can get on my R&B shit, you know, not have to use too much Melodyne when I do my vocals or whatever. But it's really, I wouldn't say anything but house, but a lot of shit that is not house goes into my house.
Yeah.
That happens to be this musical chapter that I'm in, almost kind of like an MMA guy. He starts with Muay Thai, learns his jujitsu. I'm learning jujitsu right now. If I go into the fight, if I go into the studio, just the other night, I pulled my 3 days grace out of my bag, you know, my rock shit. And I, you know, went full emo, not full emo, I would say, because that's a little bit different. I wasn't screaming, but like definitely I have a DM where my homie's like, yo, you need to start the rock band before you need to do the house music shit. So
damn,
it just all comes out.
Hey, you know, I feel like that's like one of the craziest things with just like multiple influences and multiple genres. Like being able to grab from like different genres and like inspire your music based off of that is a very important thing for all genres and for all artists. I feel like a lot of times you'll see people on TikTok being like, "Oh yeah, I just made this beat and I put my lyrics over it, and it sounds like identical to like a Travis Scott song," which is almost like 99% of the time how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So being able to one have the skill set to make exactly what you think you need, and like how to, sorry, not that, but like how exactly to like implement everything that you're influenced by is a
Mhm.
super important thing. And two, actually executing that and making it your own art is a very like important thing. And I feel like from what I've listened from you, that's something that you've been able to like actually conquer and something that you've been able to actually do.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. The thing is, just like how you were saying before, humans have a lot in common, a lot more than they realize. Music is also very similar. I mean, even just thinking like, unless you're going like the Tool route, another influence, and you're fucking playing Fibonacci sequence. You know
Right.
what I mean? You're playing in 13/7 or some weird ass
You're
shit.
playing some crazy shit.
Yeah, playing some crazy shit. Unless you're doing that, all music's like in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Right.
But the comparison that I would make as far as, or my arguments, my evidence, so to speak, to this is like when you listen to say like metal and you have like but then you listen to Denzel Curry and the beats he raps on in the 808 is boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Eerily similar.
They are.
Eerie how the kick drum is very staccato, pounding, rhythmic, and matching with a very staccato full bass.
Yes.
And see how that elicits the same reaction in a Playboy Cardi concert versus a System of a Down concert. Moshing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's all also very similar. You know, when I say that I like this group called Chaos and the CBD, people who have listened to this, that might as well be smooth jazz. It's got a little behind
Exactly.
it.
You can make it
Yeah.
exactly what you want it to be. But I feel inclined to ask. You brought up Tool as like a proper influence.
Mm-hmm.
Little fun fact about me. Again, this is not my interview per se.
No, it's okay. There's no ego
Little
here. Tell
fun
me about
fact
yourself.
about me is in the ripe year of 2012, when I was anywhere between the age of 4 and 29, I was 11. I played a lot of Guitar Hero, and I feel like one of the first artists that I like truly listened to, or like the first bands that I truly listened to, was Tool. So
Nice.
you saying Tool was an influence is a really cool thing for me to hear. Now I have to ask you, what's your favorite Tool album?
Man,
And
the
which
thing
one of the
is,
projects do you think is the most influential? Because they're all very different from each other, I feel like.
low key, like the most complete project I have to say is Lateralis. But then like 10,000 Days, it's got Vicarious on it, bro.
Yeah.
It's taking my whole willpower not to just vicariously I live while the whole world dies. Like, no, bro, crazy and bad, like a bad vibe song. Ironically enough,
Right.
like you talk about, oh, I listen to Lil Durk because of violence, but like, what is it? She put poison in his tea, watches him die. Like,
Right.
like
No,
not
yeah.
some shit you're supposed to like listen to in the morning, but like,
no,
yo,
definitely.
that's just crazy. That's
But also,
insane.
everyone's entitled to their own music listening at any time of the day.
No, yeah, by all means.
It
By all
just
means.
Tool is, yeah, I mean, you're kind of like insane listening to that any time of the day.
Yeah,
But still,
Yeah.
phenomenal music. They
phenomenal.
are
Phenomenal.
truly
Sensational.
inspirational. I almost took a trip to Jerome, Arizona, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with any part of Arizona.
I only know Tempe, and then I can't think of the city name where all the hippies go.
Oh God,
The
Shit.
Flagstaff.
could be
It's
Flagstaff
not Flagstaff, it's something else.
or Sedona.
Sedona.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sedona.
So
I hear about that all the time.
we're so me
But
and
y'all
Dean
got Jerome.
are-
I trust Jerome. Trust Jerome.
me and Dean are based in Tempe right now.
Okay.
Just college town. I would say not much going on here, but there's also the most going on here out of any city in Arizona. But Jerome is about what was the number? It was like 28 or 30 miles south of Sedona. It's a ghost
Mission.
town, and there's not shit going on over there. Like it's just like a little haunted tiny city, population 400. One of the members of that population is the bassist from Tool.
No way.
Or is it
No
the
way.
bassist?
That's
Bassist or the
crazy.
drummer?
It's someone from the band, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that was the bassist. They had their listening party for Fear Inoculum in Jerome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Crazy.
Bro,
Wow.
crazy. So close to greatness.
Crazy. They are exactly like I fucking wish I knew about it. I was here when it happened.
Mhm.
It just they are such a weird group of people, I feel like. But the weird
Mhm.
groups of people make the best music.
The weird groups of people like made it through the ringer and like retained their soul.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't get the can I go pee? Can I be another cog in the system? They made it through and it was like, nah, fuck it. I'm picking my nose and I'm flicking it into the breeze and
Facts.
you know, I'm gonna make wine and
I'm
also
pissing
sing
right
about
under the
why
school desk.
right now. And I'm
Yeah.
looking you in the eye while I do it, Miss
Facts.
Johnson.
Pissing my pants and everything.
Fuck you,
Miss
bitch.
Johnson.
You know.
What do you have against Miss Johnson?
She didn't let me go pee, so I'm just pissing on the desk right now.
Fuck.
She's fucking with my autonomy. She said, stop drawing all these damn pictures in class. She said, stop looking out the window like you're an anime character. You think you're the main character? Bitch, I do. Bitch, I do. That's my problem. That's my problem. Personally.
I think we have a villain origin story over here.
No, I just want to make the world a better place.
Do you listen to Death Grips?
Oh, there it is. There's the question.
No. No, not at all. I don't listen to a black man screaming. That's much too scary. No. Why would I do that?
Terrifying.
Definitely the type of dude where like if you're like fighting, you're like, does he feel pain? Because he's just looking me in the eye. Like you're connecting, you're throwing hooks, jabs, crosses, and it's just like he just keeps getting up.
I don't know if you've ever read in on any like Death Grips of lyricism because like it sure as fuck does sound like just a bunch of like incompatible screaming. I love Death Grips, but
yeah, no, they're hard. They're hard.
It sounds like just a fuck ton of like screaming and bullshit, and their music's like awful, but also I love them.
Yes.
Some of the things MC Ride says in his lyrics are the most vile things I've ever heard in my life. Like,
please enlighten me because I think I've just been in the sleep zone, just like, oh yeah, this is crazy. These are weird sounds.
Let me pull up the lyrics now.
Educate me so I could be horrified with you.
Yeah, because I was just
listening
to
be alone.
No Love by Death Grips. I was listening to No Love, and I was like, fuck it, let's do some karaoke. And so I looked up the lyrics, and yeah, I was kind of terrified here. I'm typing it in right now.
I was gonna say it's with Death Grips. I feel like it's very easy to kind of get encompassed by like how different, how experimental a lot of their sound is, and not really focus so much on the lyrics. I mean, I find myself doing that a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who their sound engineer is. We know who their producer is, but
yeah.
If that producer is also doing the sound engineering and everything that has to do with the actual beat and like music besides the vocals, that guy needs to be put in an asylum. He knows something that no one else knows. But
he's an accomplice.
Yeah.
He's an accomplice for sure.
Seriously. Okay, here we go. No Love, Death Grips. Let's start quoting. How a motherfucker feels, slit them choke, flip them boat, dead bitch float, swollen corpse, no remorse, navigated off course. Of course I can make you scream, but if you ask for more. Bullshit, matador, grab the floor, whip it cracked to all floors. You whimper while I check my phone. Who's next? Assassin Rome. Music drifts, I have no home. Choose this life, you're on your own. I just like, are you fucking like serious? Like, what exactly like could this man have experienced in his life for him to cultivate those lyrics, because there's no person on this planet, I will bet money on this, that says Death Grips is one of their biggest inspirations for music. It's impossible.
No, it's highly probable, especially now. Just by the fact that we're even talking about this, there's somebody that's just like, they definitely wake up with this. They're shocked that people like even Kendrick or Taylor Swift, because it's not enough.
Right.
I'm sure there's somebody, but I would say that Crazy's probably in there. Like I guess definitely, I don't know if I'll go slit the throat, flip the boat, swollen corpse. That's grim. But there is some crazy in me that I don't know if it'd be analogous necessarily, like on the same level, but I don't know. We all got a little cuckoo in there. He might just be doing medicine. That might be the only reason that he can walk into a coffee shop and not just start beating heads. It's because he can flip the boat on the beat.
You know, flip the boat and dead the corpse and whatever you want.
Yeah.
And throw you in the assassin room or whatever the fuck he's.
Yeah.
I don't know. But speaking of experimental lyrics, you said you also have some Kendrick Lamar inspiration, correct? Or you
big time. Big time.
Experimental lyrics, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it.
Necessary, man. I mean, extremely necessary, extremely vulnerable. Even for me, that album is kind of like similar to like where Earl Sweatshirt has been recently, where it's like I can appreciate the artistry, but it's not something that I always want to come back to. Mind you, I did just see him at the Crypto Arena, and honestly, a lot of that shit was smacking quite differently live. It kind of made me.
You saw Earl Sweatshirt at Crypto?
No, I saw Kendrick.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus.
No, I saw Kendrick. Yeah. Yeah, but I saw Kendrick. And I mean, like Rich Spirit, Savior, Father Time. It has a lot of good cuts on there that I enjoyed to just add to the Kendrick mythos. But definitely he went incredibly deep. He went into those depths in the same way I would say MC Ride does, but it was for Kendrick. It's interesting that we kind of just made that transition right now, but I think that he made, and a little bit more coherent, a little bit more of a teaching tone as opposed to just an exorcism of nasty shit. Like I would say, what was it, like Worldwide Steppers, where he was like, I fucked a white bitch for vengeance. That was his MC Ride kind of track where he's just like, I did it because I wanted to. And then my wife was mad at me. She's like, you got a problem? I was like, I think I fucking do. He had that exorcism a little bit. And I mean, even in like, what was it, Mother I Grief, towards the end where he's talking about just like sexual abuse, rappers, talking about the sexual abuse of like his mother, and what had happened to her. I think that it's like a necessary conversation, particularly like, just within my community, because unfortunately, even having the luxury to worry about your mental health is a little bit of a privilege, even though it is such a common sense thing but common sense isn't common, but just an obvious thing that's glaring in your face, like, yo, get your mind right, get your mindset, bro.
Exactly.
But like to not even have the bandwidth of that when you're in the survival mode, where Kendrick is coming from, where a lot of people are coming from, around the world, let alone Compton, South Central, Pasadena, your neighbors in Tempe, in the wrong block, could be 3 streets over, and just really not even have that bandwidth to be able to
talk about
that shit, build their spirit up, work on their self-esteem. They're worried about where the next ramen noodles is coming from. So I would say, as far as experimental rap lyrics, it's a necessary conversation, as much as not every single track is hitting like Damn did as an artist, and even just speaking to the truth, that exorcism that we're talking about, necessary, extremely necessary.
And Big Steppers was definitely for the more lyrically inclined people. I feel like the people that like sit there and actually like listen to the lyrics as opposed to like just like the song itself. I would sit here and say that MC Ride did like a bold thing talking about his like mental health, but that man's been doing it since Death Grip started. Like he just like goes in there, talks about whatever the fuck. He's like, you know what? Everyone needs to hear exactly what I'm thinking. But the difference between MC Ride and Kendrick Lamar, I feel like, is Kendrick Lamar is speaking to an audience that is millions of times bigger than what Death Grips is, and he's also coming from a community where, in my opinion, talking about mental health like that is like looked down upon, because I kind of suffered from the same thing with I'm Armenian, and a lot of like Armenian upbringing, especially like in LA, is like just beat off. Like you're sad, fuck you.
Yeah.
So like him doing that was a super important thing for a lot of people. I mean, like him showing everyone that you're allowed to like talk about what's wrong with your life and like if you need help is such an important thing for him to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think even like J Noir was saying, like just like United in Grief in general, like that, the sort of lyrics that he did, like just even like having those lyrics on the first song kind of sets the pace for like the theme of like the whole album in general.
Fucking seriously, thank you for saying that. United in Grief, if that song wasn't on there, I don't know how I would feel about the rest of the album. I feel like I would just be like a little bit confused, even though each song tells its like own story. The new Mercedes, the black key wagon, the way he from, it was all for 20 years young. I was like, holy fuck, he has a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when that drum beat hits. That shit live was.
I grieve different.
Yeah. No, I'm just so glad that like his concert, I feel like one that you had to go to alone, because that thing was just like a movie on its own. Like my brother went with his friends and he was like, yeah, we were all just like turning up. But like I was sitting there, I went alone. I was sitting there.
I fuck with that heavy.
Watching, and I was like, holy fuck, this is one of the best concerts that I've ever been to. Probably the best concert that I've ever been to. Just like I literally again felt like I was watching either one, a movie, or two, just a musical. As opposed to a bunch of the other concerts that I've been to, like Playboy Cardi. Fucking motherfucker. Getting your shit beat straight for an hour. It's like
literally.
It's like going to the gym.
Somebody bites your neck. Like fucking vamps, bro.
Yeah, vamps. Yeah.
That's to be expected, though.
It is to be expected. Speaking of concerts, are you like an active concert goer or like a club goer or anything?
When the money is right, fuck yeah. To both of those, really. But yes, I do go out, even though my default settings are definitely to stay at home and make beats, you know. Definitely when the money is right, I want to go. I do go to as many shows as I can. And yeah, I definitely do that. And I definitely like go to bars. I definitely go to select clubs, you know, just try to figure out where my tribe is at, you know, where I can really like where I can go dance. Right. If I can dance, then I'm probably gonna have a good time, and anything else that you would want to get out of a club is gonna happen. But you know, definitely love a good salsa joint. Another musical influence.
Really?
But yeah, you know, I love dancing salsa, trying to get my bachata tight. Say that fast 3 times. But yeah, just somewhere where I can dance, because I don't like drinking when I go out. I drink with people that I trust. Right. If I got a little baddie on the beach or something, then yeah, I'll break out the rapasado. But I don't like typically to be one, just kind of put myself in like an impaired state, right, where I'm too loose and I'm not as aware as I should be. I wouldn't say necessarily conquer the social anxiety, but like putting myself in those situations sober, just around people and having to socialize sober, made getting fucked up, ironically enough, a lot better, because like my threshold was a lot higher. Learned about myself, you know, how I judge myself in certain situations, whatever. But
the confidence skyrockets when you are fucked up at the club.
Yeah, it's like a Mario cheat code, bro. But I try not to use the cheat code. Try not to get like the gold star. So I'm just like,
Come on, quote of the day. Quote of the day. Stop using the cheat codes. If you're gonna talk to a woman at the club, do it the hard way. You'll learn
do it the
from your
hard way,
mistakes.
bro. Hey, you said it on me. Said it on me. That's the real shit.
No,
That's the only.
that is real shit. Because I feel like personally, I have some like pretty crazy not social anxiety, but like I'm just not the best in like large groups of people. When me and Dean hang out, I mean Dean lives like I know in the lore, like fucking I'm in like the North Pole and Dean's in Antarctica. But like Dean kind of just like lives down the street from me. So
Yeah.
he's
When you
always
fly
like,
down, when you fly down.
right, when I fly down, which is everywhere. It's actually when I fly up, because I'm
Yeah,
only there for the podcast. But
exactly.
me and
Exactly.
Dean, I feel like me and Dean hang out all the time. Like we're always like around each other like a lot of the time. We were together yesterday, the day before, and we're gonna meet up later today.
Mhm.
I like doing that more because then it's like, oh, it's a little more quiet. Like there's conversation that can go on, and I feel like a human. But then when I go to the club, like we just recently turned 21, so we've been turning up, like very much so. When I go to the club, I just feel like I'm in like the fucking Hunger Games, like especially in Tempe. One thing about
You are.
Tempe
Oh,
You
yeah.
are. It's
is
fucking Animal Planet, dog.
this is where Arizona State University is. Right?
Yeah.
We attend Arizona State University, so we know a thing or two about the fucking population here. They
Mhm.
it's a bunch of people that lived in small towns before that come over here to like live like the Miami life almost, and it doesn't hit the same whatsoever. You're in
That's
the
tough.
you're in the
That's real
club just
tough.
watching one terrible game spitting like the like I went this okay. I'm gonna give you a little story. On
Please
Tuesday,
do.
on
Please do.
I
Please
went
do.
to the club on a Tuesday because
Oh,
On a
this is great.
Tuesday.
Club going
clubs
up
going
on a
up on a
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's too easy.
Too easy.
But we went because my friend graduated. Shout out to Summer, by the way. Shout out to Summer Beckman. Just graduated with her criminal justice degree. But we went to the club after that, and I was just like, all right, cool, same club experience. We go to this one club called Casa all the time, which is like an outdoor slash indoor thing. When you're outside, it's just rap music, your typical, like what you hear before like a Baby Keem concert type
Mhm.
music, or like old shit, like throwbacks,
Mhm.
whatever. It just feels like you're at prom almost. But
Yeah.
when you go inside, it just like straight banging like house
Mhm.
techno EDM shit. That's exactly where you want to be. You're in LA. I'm from LA. You know exactly what you need to see when you go into the club. I'm sure
Yes.
we're on like the same wave. But
Yes.
we went on
Yes. Yes.
Tuesday and they closed the inside, and which like given it's not a weekend, so they don't want the inside open. But we're outside just listening to whatever the fuck we're listening to. They swapped DJs, and this DJ, I'll tell you about it at the end after the story, but we're just in there, and everywhere that I looked, I felt like I was in a GTA lobby. Like it was just this one girl working on 10 different guys, giving each of them like 5 seconds, kind of walking around in a circle. And then one of the guys from there, I guess, wins and takes her, but he's just full blown, like what looks like sexually assaulting her. And I'm like, is this
Jeez.
one how like what you expect to do when you go out? Like just ditch all your friends and start rubbing your fucking balls on another girl? No. I mean, like, that's disgusting. Two, where it just we had another guy staring at one of our friends in the friend group the entire time, like was not breaking contact whatsoever, just staring at her. And I'm just like, guys, do we have friends that like you can like I don't know dance with? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing at the club? Not violating women, So like just being in that setting is so weird to me almost. Like I cannot stand with being sober at the club, because if I was sober at the club and I was watching all that happen, I would feel like I'm just like in a place that I'm not supposed to be in. And that goes with all big groups. Plus, the DJ on top of that probably got paid like $10 that night to DJ. So he was fucking around the entire time. This guy played Freestyle by Lil Baby 3 times in a row. Played some YouTube intro music, and when we looked at him when he was playing some like dog shit music, he was dying of laughter. Like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, this is just off. Like, give me another Corona because I can't
Lock
be,
these
I can't be
motherfuckers in the
watching
house
this
again.
now. Like, I need to be somewhere else mentally because that also was the only club that people were at. You know, so I feel inclined to ask the underground house scene in LA is like blowing up a little bit. We're hearing like a bunch of stuff about it on Twitter, but have you been to something like that before? Like almost like a boiler room type thing?
I've been in a couple of warehouses, and I really want to go to more warehouses because I've just been getting my shit together. I moved out this year. A lot of things have just been happening that have not allowed me to go out and shuffle and salsa and bachata as much as I would like to,
Right.
and indulge in Animal Planet. But I have, and I mean, even just seeing like DJs go to, like to this venue called like Academy LA. You know, you can see like the full roster, like more well-known DJs, dudes coming from Germany, some people that you were just dancing with in the club, you know, a few weeks ago, they're spinning now. It really is having like a resurgence. And I think even people with kind of like their finger on the pulse, like whoever's in Beyonce's and shit, even Drake's camp. And I mean, to hear you tell like Drake, you know, he wants to go to Ibiza and actually listen to that and dive into like Black Coffee. I mean, it's definitely coming forth. I mean, they tried to kill disco, and I would say even like we're talking yet another influence shit. K-Tronada has been holding the torch in the midst of the darkness.
Fuck yeah.
And you know, it's never not been a vibe. They tried to kill disco, they tried to, you know, stop funk, but the funk don't stop. Funk don't die.
The funk
You know, the funk don't stop. But that's hilarious, bro. I mean, like, yeah, but you're seeing like those are humans in their like natural element, bro. Like, I'm kind of curious when you say like kind of assaulting. Like, I know I've made out with a few girls, like, you know, in the club or whatever, and I realized kind of in retrospect, you know, if I wanted to say like pull them back to my place or even just like have a little bit more longevity, like actually flip that into something real, not try to get all that you can get right there.
Right.
In the sense that, like, you know, just like groping, like, let me, okay, now I can grab the ass and now I can, you know, touch the teeth. It's like, hey, we're still in public.
Yeah, we're
fucking
still
relax.
Exactly.
Fucking relax.
This was
you
bad
know?
enough for, like, I literally bad enough one for me to watch the entire thing happen. Like, I literally, like, I
Yeah.
stopped dancing and I kind of just like sat down off to the side and just watched because I was like, what the fuck? There are people actively trying to pull this man off of her. And he
Was it that bad? Like, what was her facial expressions like? Was she just sauced
chilling.
up? She was chilling?
Or like she was yeah, she was very fucked up. But
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
like,
That's
I
not,
didn't want to
that's not good.
intervene necessarily because, like, I don't know, this guy want to punch me in the face, or like, are they just best
It's a valid
friends turning
consideration.
up, and it's just like it looks like some bad shit's happening, but there are already people actively trying to pull them apart from each other.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
not a good look.
Like,
You're doing like
here's-
way too much.
here's my thing about that though, is like, is my bad, but like, my thing about it though is like I'm more of like a people watcher. You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of like, I like to like observe and just kind of see how like people like act and what they do, especially like in a sort of like party environment or club environment, or maybe even
Right.
like a boiler room environment, something like that. But I love to see kind of like an in-depth analysis into like the sort of like behavioral science of how people like interact with each other, like in the club and all that stuff. You know, like maybe like some National Geographic. You got like some British narrator, you know,
bro,
like talking
J
over.
Noir was
yes.
put that shit on Animal Planet.
No, bro, because we
shit on
are
Animal Planet, bro.
Yes, no, that ass. No, I feel you, Dean. That's exactly. I mean, that's the Sharingan, bro. I don't know if you watch Naruto or you guys are anime guys, but like to be able to like, yeah. So I mean, like you talk about having like a Sharingan, it's like sit your thirsty ass back, watch, and see how these dudes just keep, hey, little mama, Oh, and then she flips it into a drink, and then into another drink, and another drink, and then you just see dude, who's never touched ass before, and he's just fucking, and just you could figure out all that you don't need to do from watching these goofy motherfuckers.
Just going absolutely feral.
Feral with a
Feral.
capital Feral.
And the
Feral.
L. Just
Emphasis on
rabid
the
fucking
L.
raccoons. Like
in the
Jesus.
bin, bro. Rattling in the bin.
It just like, what are you doing? Like, I could be publicly, hey, legally, I don't take part, but you could be I could be belligerently fucked up at the club. Absolutely up the ass fucked up. Sorry, pause. But
so good. It's 2022, man.
And there's like no part of me that's like, I'm gonna go touch that woman over there, or I'm gonna go blah blah. Like, is there no part of you that like knows that like you shouldn't be doing that? I mean, like, every time I've gone out, it's pretty much been with Dean, and Dean has seen me before drink a couple too many AMFs, and this guy can vouch for me.
I can 100% vouch for you on that.
And I can
what is that AMF?
Okay, it stands for adios, motherfucker. It's a mix of 4 different liquors. I'm not exactly sure which ones they are, but it tastes like nothing. Like, there's like absolutely no alcoholic taste to it. It's very dangerous. It's like jungle juice, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can drink a lot of them, but even one will.
And they sneak up on you.
They sneak up on you like a motherfucker.
Second time freestyle by Lil Baby's coming around, you're just like, oh fuck, like.
You're like, damn. Yeah, it's just the YouTube intro music. That's the thing with the Phoenix club scene is the DJs have to play what the audience wants to hear, and the audience is just some of the most generic wheat bread motherfuckers that I've ever seen in my life.
Fuck, man. That's got to be hell for people with good taste like you guys. Like, you just like, can we get something different? Can we?
Nah, usually we're fine. We're just like kind of turning up. I mean, there's no power with us to be like, okay, come on, Mr. DJ, can you play some like Brutalismus 3000 or like?
Well, I mean, you might
Pokemon Penny Battle theme recently. That like
oh my god
style. Boom, boom.
Bro, I can go on a tangent about that. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't even have the new Pokemon game out yet, but like, for some reason, the music in every single new game, it just keeps getting better and better. And like, whoever their composer is or whatever, like they're not getting paid enough. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're gonna make me look it up.
I need to.
But it sounds like y'all need to, just like me, honestly, like all 3 of us really just need to start spinning. Really.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. We were just talking to our friend Wyatt, and he was like, yo, they have this new turntable that just like came out from Pioneer. It's like $300. We got to start going. I'm like, we have to start going. We have to change, especially in LA. I feel like it's fine. It's like at a good place in LA. I feel like here needs desperate cleaning. Desperate cleaning.
Help wanted.
Fabuloso. Bleach. Yeah,
fucking
a chisel.
ShamWow.
Fucking whole scene.
ShamWow, the EDM scene. Phoenix. But I'm gonna be going to LA on Tuesday. Is it this Tuesday? No, it's next Tuesday. I'm gonna be going to LA on Tuesday. I hold my.
What is that, like New Year's?
For Christmas.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah. So
okay.
Like Christmas Eve, whatever the fuck, and then I told my friends over there, I was like, you guys have to take me to one of these fucking establishments in LA so I could like really get a good feel of what club.
Well, you know what? It'd be kind of crazy. I wasn't gonna go. Imagine if they watch this, but I will say this: there's a very cool community of like shufflers, like house dancers.
Oh shit.
And they have some in-house DJs. Like the dudes will like go dance. There's some bad dancers, like they fuck their shit up, and then they'll actually like hop on the boards and then also throw down. And I feel like that's a very interesting pulse. And I mean, that's, if you're talking about a J Noir influence, seeing their love for it it kind of hit me on multiple levels as like a dancer, as well as like, just appreciating the music and see how much they love it and how much they've just kind of built their community.
Right.
That's on the 23rd. So I can send you that flyer. And I mean, happy to link up with you there. So
You might
I might be going out. I wasn't planning to, but I might fuck around and find myself outside. Yeah.
Little turn up session. So
Hey,
I feel inclined to ask now. Me and Dean have been listening to a not so popular genre, but which I'm sure you're very familiar with, drum and bass. And I'm not talking about drum and bass, EDM, hard drum and bass. I'm talking about like the more jazzy drum and bass.
Like some Liquid Jungle.
Yes, some
Liquid Jungle, exactly.
What do you think of like jungle music? Is that like?
It's always been there. It's really always been there because I'm a '90s baby. It's yet another thing that's kind of. I mean, I always say this, and people realize it even if I like, because I have a couple tracks that I produced within that. I've actually rapped on one, and then I have another one kind of like playing guitar on it. So I'm hitting like minor ninth chords, quite jazzy. But they'll be like, "What genre is this, bro?" And I'm like, "It's like some Toonami shit." And they're like, "Oh yeah, it is some Toonami shit." But like even just that reference point, I feel like it's just always been that cool genre of music that I didn't really put two and two together, that this is actually a whole movement and genre of music.
Right.
But no, I fuck with drum and bass. Like,
all the beatboxing that I've been doing has turned from Skrillex.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It shaped me and Dean in such a way these past couple months.
It's crazy. And you know what? For all I'm concerned, like I'm happy to give her the credit. At least I gotta say, like at least for maybe like I'm sure there'll be a TikToker somewhere that's like, I've been listening to this all of my life. And you know what? Like not ironically, not backhandedly, low-key probably cooler than the rest of us. But low-key Pink Panthers,
thank you.
Just like showed everybody, but definitely just in the Black community, like, hey, drum and bass, it's a thing. And I'm so happy she did.
No, because
it's crazy.
Absolutely insane with the drum and bass. I don't give a fuck. Like her drum and bass is, I feel like if you go up to someone that just listens to your like general, like typical trap music, like the Lil Durk or like the Lil Baby, and you try to introduce them to drum and bass, it's gonna be from Pink Panthers. I mean,
that's an excellent reference point, and it's not even like you're selling them short.
Exactly. She has the algorithm with drum and bass and everything down. Like very, very down. Did you watch her Boiler Room?
It's been popping up. I need to watch it.
I was just gonna ask that about the Boiler Room because I remember because me and Alex watched it 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
We watched a little bit of it.
We watched a little bit.
What'd you think? What were your thoughts, guys?
It was insane. I mean, she's not a DJ, but she did perform. Someone else kind of like DJ'd it for her.
Okay.
Just like the energy that her music brings into the room. One thing that I need to say is you listen to an artist for the first time, it's very hard to be like, oh wow, like this artist is amazing. I'm gonna listen to them forever. The only artist that's really happened to me like that with is Fred again. I've listened to a lot of Fred again. Brutalismus 3000 is an example I brought up earlier. He's a hardstyle DJ. And Pink Panthers. I listened to Pink Panthers for the first time in like 2021, maybe like early 2021. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm never going to stop listening to this woman. And frankly, I've never stopped listening to her. Like she has always popped up on like my top 10 on Spotify at least. And she knows something that like no one else does.
High key, there's a lot of love and like practice, and whatever God is airdropping her, like there's a clear channel. Like, I think we all have that. I think it's a matter of like cultivating it and trusting it. I don't want to make too much of a tangent. We can keep celebrating Pink Panthers. It's just like, even when I heard Break It Off, like, you don't want to see me cry. So like that immediately grabbed me. I'm fine. Like that, insane. And then it just And the
lyricism-
voice is just an angel. She's a drum and bass angel.
Also, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life
Fine as fuck.
for no reason.
Why her parents do that? It
Why
had
do
no
my
business.
parents do that?
Dude, thank God her dad had Riz because he kept it going. He blessed us. Thank you for the Riz, Pops.
Yeah.
Future father-in-law. I appreciate you. What the fuck? What the
Full
fuck?
circle Riz.
Full circle Riz. I'm hoping that I could be like him when I grow up and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? But nah, like just a drum and bass jungle angel. And I watched too much Dave Chappelle because now that sounds racist. Just a jungle angel. You know? But no. But no,
no,
like
but seriously.
amazing.
I mean, she really is like somehow. Because a lot of stuff that I've been producing, shameless plug, but I have an album that I'm trying to release soon. Actually, Marcus,
You have
cut
stuff
that
out?
Leon has an album that he's releasing soon.
Okay.
That I produced all of. Let's say that.
Okay.
It's all drum and bass for the most part.
Sick as fuck.
I'd be very happy to show you some at some point after the interview if that's something you'd be down to like listen to.
Yeah, I mean we can do the exchange on it after whatever, you know.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm,
I was
I'm
gonna
down.
say, isn't it like it's like 60 like 40 like drum and bass to house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get that to be like 80-20 drum and bass.
Yeah,
to house,
80-20,
because
yeah.
Drum and bass is it's just such a insane genre of music. And the fact that it's not like a big genre yet, or I mean, well, like big genre yet in the sense of like modern drum and bass, and like
Yeah.
the potential that it has to become a massive thing in like the regular like music listening community as opposed to just like EDM or like old school jungle type shit. The fact that it's like not there yet in this current age is something that I feel like a lot of people need to be taking advantage of. Because the second you show anyone a drum and bass beat, we're all built off like adrenaline and just like serotonin.
Mm-hmm.
That shit gets anyone wired up. Just like
It's
hearing,
the
like,
earworm.
fast-paced-
Wired up and even just kind of peaceful. It's
Right.
like it's trance without being trance.
Exactly.
But
And it could
I-
be the hardest drum and bass shit too. Like it could be some of the most terrifying drum and bass that you've listened
Yeah.
to. I was talking to one of my friends, Destiny, shout out Destiny, and she said, show me one of your songs that you've been producing. I put on this like drum and bass thing that I made. That's just tough. Dean, for reference, I showed her Harrison.
Okay.
I just put on a tough ass drum and bass thing. This thing's loud and it's a little scary. But she said I could sleep to this. So I completely agree with you. You fall
Wow.
asleep listening to drum and bass.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then at the same time, like there are multiple, honestly, like for a period of my life and even now, just something like it's kind of like some inner child shit now, but like when I'll fall asleep and listen to music, like what's gonna put me in that state where like I'm laying in my bed, eyes closed on my back, headphones in, listening too loud, and I'm just anime running in my head. Like I'm just envisioning myself in my theme song. It's drum and bass.
Yep.
There's a couple
Right.
other songs. There's a specific kind of like break beat pattern that I'm here. I like in this this Willow song off of her like most recent like rock effort off of Coping Mechanism. Beautiful album, by the way. Another beautiful black woman. Let me continue the line. Anyways, let me calm down.
I'm glad you
but-
said breakbeat.
Yes.
That's oh my god, that gets like the nostalgia going and everything.
No, absolutely. But that and I need to study because we need to be able to shout out that drummer. I think it's it's not holiday beat or the holiday break beat. Like what is that seminal sample break beat that
Oh,
we have to shout out that drummer. Dang.
Shout out to the
Hold
drummer
on.
that made that because honestly, I have no clue.
we'll
I'm
have
gonna
to,
try to look it up. We'll keep the energy going. But yeah, I
we'll have
love
to put it in the edited version of this video.
yes. But I love I love drum and bass. And I mean I can appreciate even you guys because I mean we just went from like Tool to like housing in Tempe, get your fucking shit together to drum and bass. I think, you know, elitism aside, which I do kind of tread into, I really appreciate that you guys love music, because I feel, one, kind of alienated by, those aliens that walk amongst us. They're like, I don't get music. Like, how the fuck? But
Yeah.
even then, I think it really shows whether you're creating multiple genres, listening to multiple genres. It's almost like a reflection of, I want to say, like the depth of your spirit,
Right.
of the different, quite literally and figuratively, the different vibrations that can touch your spirit, that can
Exactly.
touch your soul and bring you joy, or at least emote something.
No,
I can't
fuck with
even,
that.
I can't even tread on people who, let's just say like the more darker metal, even though I don't want to have anything that's like, Satan, Satan, Satan in my ear. At the same time, if like, that's just the vibration. I mean, there's just good and bad, and we're all in the spectrum. And I mean, in the same way that MC Ride might be getting his medicine out, you might have to be listening to the it's bad, to kind of get your medicine. Like,
Exactly.
taking my context, my worldview out, you're still getting your medicine. You're
Right.
still
I have
feeling something.
like a side note really quick, and then I have a pretty like good segue as to like what you just said. So with
Mhm.
metal music, I grew up listening to metal, I feel like. So metal is mostly nostalgic to me. And it's just like it's cool. I mean, like cool metal music. And I drifted away from it once I hit the age of like 14. But our friend Harrison, me and Dean's were like some of our like best friend, Harrison.
Mhm.
He is one of the most talented metal guitarist that I've ever heard in my life. A lot of what this
Yeah.
guy listens to is metal. And we took a road trip to LA like in May. Yeah, in May, like late May. The whole time, this guy was just playing his favorite metal albums. And it wasn't even a problem. Usually it's like, damn, I don't want to hear this shit for 6 hours straight. But
Right.
artists like Thornhill, Polaris, like Moths to Flames, those metal musicians, like those bands, are so fucking good at their metal music, and it's like a little more underground too.
I'm
It
low-key
gives you
looking
like
them up on Apple Music. You said Thornhill, Polaris.
and there's another band like Moths to Flames. There's a whole bunch that I could just like list off, but it gives you like a different appreciation for it. Like it really does. I mean, I catch myself listening to metal like here and there now too. But with that being said, you were talking about the common theme that we have on this podcast episode today is that we're all humans. But one thing about humans is even though we're all the same, we're all different at the same time. There's different types of music that get different types of people stimulated. But one
Mhm.
thing that I hate, fuck TikTok. The Job Hunt LLC is anti TikTok. We hate TikTok. Why? At least the music scene in TikTok. I personally hate music debate. When people are like, oh, this artist is ass. I can't believe you listen to this guy. This guy's mid. This guy's mid. I personally hate that shit. What are your thoughts on people that debate music and kind of just like talk shit on other
Ooh.
people's music tastes?
I mean, there's so much that you can already infer just from that. But I would say, as a guy who doesn't watch sports, and again, another high horse that I'll step onto for comedic effect that has something, a little bit of truth in it, where I'm looking at like, man, it's all about the Dallas Cowboys, and I hate the Chargers.
Yeah.
Fuck the Ravens. I'm like, bro, you don't play. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Thank
Bro, you don't play.
Don't
But
play.
you know what? Same shit. Oh man, look at Drake's numbers, bro. Look at Drake's numbers, bro. He's the greatest rapper ever, bro. Look at Drake's numbers. Oh nah, bro. It's all about Kendrick. He's all about the lyricism. You like Drake? He's so shallow. He doesn't even write his own shit. First of all, enjoy the music. Second of all, stop attaching something, your value, to one, something that's outside of yourself and just trying to be on this team. Like we're talking about humans being all the same. Get out of the tribe.
Right.
Be an individual, because you're trying to do Drake's tribe, Kendrick tribe, metal tribe. All rap is the same tribe. Rap needs to be lyrical tribe. Rap needs to be hosted by vampires tribe. you know,
All the fucking the
all the tribes, right?
The
And
vamps.
then you know, you can't even fault people for that because still, even though, you know, another analogy to not go too far left, high school, I'm in multiple groups. I play football and drama. I talk to the white kids, the Mexican kids, and the 3 black people that was there with me in the fucking white ass school, whatever. But I float around
right.
because everybody has something to offer. Everybody can, thankfully, as you know, I just learned to communicate my value throughout life beyond even high school. People can see, you know, even from those different tribes, something that's beautiful in me, just like they can do with you guys, no doubt. But there's no real value looking at it from like the bird's eye view of shitting on other people's music because it just don't speak to you, bro.
Exactly.
No, but some people is gonna listen to Vicarious and it's just not gonna hit for them. They're gonna listen, they're gonna hear the drum break on fucking, was it Ticks and Leeches? And just not get it. And
That's okay.
that's okay. That's totally okay. I think when you push other people down, it's because you, not you, but when one does or what a person does want to put people down, it's simply because they want to feel higher. You communicate and provide evidence for, you know, if you're being observed, you know, your self-esteem and how okay you are by, I would say, not even so much tolerance, but just, you know, just understanding that people are different and not gonna
Right.
fuck with the same shit. And again, I dare I say, if you want to talk about good taste, even if you call Drake a culture vulture, look how he's touching reggae, Afro house, and rap and
Exactly.
jazz. And even if you don't want to believe him, he said himself, MF Doom's the greatest rapper ever. So, as much as you hate Aubrey, low-key Aubrey might have better taste than you because all you do is listen to Kendrick and Just Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
There
And
you go.
how ironic is that? So I would just say, like, what I think about it is goofy. It's goofy. It's humans being humans and wanting to be part of a tribe and needing to feel like they're in the best tribe, which I get. And you know, for the sake of conversation, if we out socializing or whatever, I might play it up a little bit. I might say somebody's ass just so you could be like, nah, bro, what you talking about? I'll be like, nah, bro, he ass. But honestly, you know, again, context here, talking to you now for the honest record. Shit, like what you like, man. If it's not for me, it's not for me. Same thing, you know, you go to the club. Shit,
Exactly.
she may not like it. I might not be her type, but somebody likes a 5 foot brother that's intellectual and got great music taste, you
Exactly.
know, and somebody's gonna like Dino Matic. It's gonna be automatic. You know what I'm saying? Gonna love the haircut, love the glasses,
go.
love the shades. You know what I'm saying? Little
Right.
5 o'clock shadow. They gonna love it.
And you know what? Dean was saying they need to do a behavioral science study on the people at the clubs in Tempe, Arizona. I also think they need to do a behavioral science study on like the opium label fans.
High key, the cult
Because
fans, the cult members.
those are some
Oh, yeah.
crazy motherfuckers. I thought the Death Grips fan base was a cult. It is, but
It is.
opium,
Side note.
Playboy Cardi, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely,
Asterisk.
Homicide King. That fan base, I don't know. I wish I had an opinion. I just like I watch them and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like you go to their concerts. I've been to almost all of them. I've been to the Playboy Cardi one twice. I've been to the Ken Carson concert. I saw Ken Carson open for Playboy Cardi. I saw Destroy Lonely open for Ken Carson. One thing that entire just fan base has in common is they're all the same. They're all very similar minded. I'm not saying they're dumbasses, but they definitely follow each other's like definitely follow each other like sheep almost. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
one thing you notice about the crowds is they no one really knows how to mosh at those concerts. I mean, as much as everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Playboy Cardi concerts
That's
are insane."
interesting.
They are insane, but it's an insane that's very, very uncomfortable. Because I saw Playboy Cardi for the first time when I was 16 years old. I didn't know who Playboy Cardi necessarily was, and now I do. Now I listen to a lot of Playboy Cardi, but I
Mhm.
went to that concert in 2018, and fuck me. I thought I was gonna die. Like, frankly, I thought I was gonna die. And I
Damn.
was like, you know what? When I'm older and I do something like this, I'm sure I'll be better. No, it literally didn't get any better. Like, 16 years old, I was at the Dial-It tour. I think he called it the Neon tour.
Okay.
And I was just in that bitch doing whatever. Damn near passed out 3 times. I passed out 2 times, almost at a third time.
Like
And
passed out. Like, what do you mean?
I was gone. Like the fucking tunnel.
Lost
Was it the AMFs
No,
or was it
I
the
was
pressure?
16. It was me getting fucking berated by just a bunch of people around me.
Damn.
Honestly,
Damn.
still a fun time. I will do it over and over again. But
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end, this guy's playing this DJ. Playboy Cardi walks off, and they want to keep the party alive or whatever. So he starts playing XXX Tentacion, and holy fuck! I mean, there's just this massive motherfucker. Like, imagine a guy wearing damn near only boxers and a red fanny pack, and that's it. That's it. And he's probably 6'8" or 6'9", massive, maybe just
Jeez.
350 pounds of sheer muscle. And I'm 16, so I'm
Big
like,
Jaleel looking motherfucker just
no, dude.
in his chonies, bro.
It was like not only that, but just wider, bigger, and taller. I like thought it
I'm
would be
bigger.
funny to, like,
I'm stronger.
I'm smarter.
I'm smart.
I'm 16. I'm like, you know what? It would be funny as fuck if I just like kind of like slapped the back of this guy's back, just slapped it. 5-star this guy. We're in the mosh pit. Fuck it.
Mhm.
So I did it. I was like, this is gonna be fun. Oh, fucking smacked it. Oh my god, this guy turns around at the exact like perfect time, grabs me right here, and just launches me. I got absolutely launched, head hit the floor and everything. I deserve that shit. But
Fuck.
what I'm saying is, like, you go to these concerts and it's just a lot of like the music comes on and everyone's kind of jumping and bumping into each other.
Yeah.
There's no like real good like standing room. The people in
Yeah.
the back are in the back for a reason at these like GA things, because they don't want to get fucking shoved around. I mean, that's fine. That's like a thing you can do. You could just listen to the music.
Mhm.
But even those guys are getting violated in the back because there's some dumb fuck that can't figure out how to get to the front of the thing. It literally takes a little bit of maneuvering. The people in the back will let you
Yeah.
go to the front.
Yeah. And then he gives up and just fucks up all the civilians.
He's
in the back.
fucking up everyone in the back, and no one's happy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like that. But the fan base specifically, you go on Twitter, you go on TikTok, and it's just they're so toxic. It's just toxic.
Here's my whole take on that is like I think it's easy for a lot of people to kind of conform to certain artists or certain trends, this and that, because it's again like it's comfortable, like it's easy. You know what I mean? It's just easy to kind of slip into that sort of mindset or kind of take on a certain persona in that sense. But like it's I don't know. It's like I don't know. I think it's important to like I guess like facilitate like those different views. Like I know you were saying earlier, like you're like anti TikTok because it kind of like it follows the algorithm, and if everyone's liking it, then it's going to do that. But at the same time, it's still like these platforms are important because it does give people an opportunity to like kind of come up with their own voice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like their own sound, this and that.
That's true
Mhm.
too. That's
You know.
definitely true, but it needs to be done in a way that's kind of just like you're all there to listen to music. That's what music's about. You come together and just have whatever time you want to have listening to whatever music you want to listen to. And being able to voice that on like TikTok, being able to voice that on Twitter is an important thing. It just needs to be done in a way that doesn't put other people down, for like their for their beliefs or like for what they like to listen to. Trust me, I get it up the ass when I talk about Death Grips because I love Death Grips. I love Death Grips. Most other people don't.
This guy loves Death
But
Grips.
it's like, damn, if like my
you
username
could
on
tell.
TikTok is I love Death Grips 808.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I love them. But
Let
like,
him know. Let him know.
if I want to listen to Death Grips, I'm gonna listen to Death Grips, and I feel like my mental is strong enough to where it's just like, if I'm block it out, whatever. Other people can't do that, and that's a shame with the music. It's like you listen to music you want to listen to. If you want to listen to the fucking 2012 YouTube intro music, that do it. That's all you. But it's like the last thing that should happen to you is be shamed for what you're listening to.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real talk. And I think I don't know, but there is some nuance there. Like, if we're being critical, I mean, the study would yield interesting results, you know, and even having a conversation of like what we are programming ourselves for in music. Like, I don't know if you guys hover around this part of the internet, but like some men within like the manosphere or like the red pill stuff would contend like you listening to all this, I'm gonna do anything for you, girl, is gonna make you a little bit more of a simp with less boundaries because you're just constantly flooding your brain with I'll do anything, I'll chop off my toe and my dick for you and put it in a box, like, and then you know you're thinking like, oh, this is normal, whereas you know you could be on some future time, and honestly I've kind of seen it, those that actually get some girls in real life, a little bit more future, a little bit more bare area, I'm gonna put it on a teeth like toothpaste, you know, type shit.
Right.
But even just, you know, me listening to Radiohead, which I love, but like I haven't listened to as much of because I can't listen to How to Disappear completely. I don't feel like that anymore.
Exactly.
And so there's something to be said as well, not necessarily this judgment, or really the big brain thing to do is kind of like let people like what they like, but really the safe cold reads. Of course, you can be wrong. And like, you know, if I see like you have a Huff jacket, I could make some assumptions. I don't know what the stereotype would be for a fucking Huff jacket, but like, you know,
it would be
you
the CEO of the Job Hunt LLC.
Hmm.
CEO of the Job Hunt probably lives in Alaska, but you know, there's some things that you can infer from people's style. You can infer something from me wearing Adidas right now. You know, you can probably infer something from Dean wearing bright colors. He's actually wearing yellow and rocking the shit, as opposed to a guy you always see in all black all the time.
Right.
In the same way, I think there is a little bit of truth to, like, again, if we're talking about, and I'm getting metaphysical, but you know, just like somebody's spirit, where their mental state is at. Vicarious does tap into something a little bit deeper and darker into me. But then Pink Panthers quite clearly is going to tap her into a little bit of the lighter side, which is why I say
Right.
the depth and the range of one's spirit, you know, or just their psychology, their mentality, whatever you want to call it. But what really, how many, you know, to put it a little bit more colloquial, like how many vibes can you tap into? You know, are you just always, because I'm sure even with those bands that your homie was playing between Polaris and like a Moth to Flame, even that has different subject matter, a little bit different vibe, things that he would clearly be able to tell you that they do differently. But then to be able to go to Teddy Pendergrass and then be able to go to a little bit of Paramore.
Right.
And shit, even be able to go over to Lil Durk and be like, you know, I like this shit too. I like when you said this. Because I could talk shit about, honestly, where I've been not as hypocritical now because I'm aware of it, but you know, it's like, I don't like hearing drugs and rap. But now I'll listen to fucking Freddie Gibbs.
Right.
He's talking about pushing weight all the time. I just like how he talks about it versus somebody that I don't listen to that I can't name for the example talk about, you know, because I like their style. But I do think, as far as the Animal Planet study, I think there is some credence to that, to be able to say like, what, like literally just almost, which is a crazy thing. What is this one person vocalizing their thoughts? MC Ride, Playboy Cardi, Kendrick, just them sending out the signal. Who did they gather around them?
Exactly.
And then why does that signal attract those people? What do all those people have in common? That, I think that's legitimate. I think that's just pure observation. But as far as just the tribalism, seeing the tribalism for what it is, it can be goofy because you just know, you're like, hey, bro, like, okay.
Exactly.
You listen to Kendrick, you listen to Doom, and that's all you listen to. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
so, you know, there's Paramore too, right? You know, it's 3 Days Grace.
There's other bands that you could dabble in. There's other
Yeah.
artists that you can like open your eyes to, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of things too, which I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. And what I feel like a lot of music producers need to understand
Mm.
is the fact that the music community, everyone listens to music, but most people aren't like super niche or like in deep with music. A bunch of my friends, I could list them off my like fucking fingers, write them down on a list. Listen to like just literally only the popular shit that's on TikTok. Because
Yeah.
frankly, they're not super in deep with music.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like there's also like that side of things too. And I feel like the one, you shouldn't be bothering those guys about anything when it comes to music. Because there's no answer. I mean,
Yeah.
people will say, "Oh, I listen to everything." Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a
Which
true
is,
answer.
you know what?
But
Yeah. No, go ahead.
oh, sorry. It's a true answer. People do only listen to like everything, and it's not them saying like a me and Dean's type of everything, for example, where me and Dean listen to fucking everything.
Yeah.
And like we're like pretty in deep and like in touch with a lot of stuff going on with music. They just listen to whatever's kind of on, and they're like, okay, I like this song, or I don't
You're
like
right.
this song. My dad,
You're
for
right.
example, my dad, shout out to my dad, most belligerently Armenian man I've ever met in my life.
The quintessential, the archetype, Adam.
Default Armenian guy is, so he just listens to Armenian music, you know, like because that's what he grew up with. He listens to Armenian music and he fucks with it. But this guy is not close-minded. He also listens to Post Malone, Tyler the Creator.
Nice.
We fucking put him on properly. He listens
Nice.
to Tool a little bit here and there. He listens
Nice.
to Polyphia, which I don't know if you're familiar with Polyphia.
Hard as hell.
That's a crazy thing to me. But he's not gonna sit there and, you know, like think too hard about it. He just kind of has it on in the background. And I feel like that's like a really important thing for music producers to understand as well, is like not only are we producing for the niche, or not only are we producing for like your group of fans, we're producing kind of for everyone. That's how you're gonna get your outreach. Drake, for fuck's sake, Drake does not have a genre. Drake is Drake, in my opinion. Like
The Drake genre.
The Drake genre.
The Drandra.
The Drandra. This guy has done house. He's done Afrobeat. He's done UK and Chicago drill. Maybe not so much Chicago drill, but this guy's gone around. And a lot of people fuck with Drake because the way he makes those songs is generalized almost. Like, he has it down. He knows that people don't like fucking, for example, death grips. They fucking hit the door stopper, let it fucking ass music. Keep it like, you just keep it simple for everyone to kind of enjoy. You leave it up to the opium fans to make music, music's fucked. If those were the only people making music, music is fucked. No one would be. We'd be listening to the car engine in the car go instead of like music. You know.
I think like kind of like to you said earlier, like there's those people that like listen to everything. There's those people that listen to the songs they only hear on TikTok, this and that.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with like, you know, listening to the music that you're kind of fed through like the TikTok algorithm, or just like jamming out whatever's on the radio. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think like there's a lot of value in just kind of like seeking out like certain music that you're drawn to on your own, like just kind of like venturing out. I think that's like, I mean, that's just what I think is important, is just kind of venturing out and finding out what you like, what you truly like. It could be anything really, like, or even just try a genre or a subgenre you've never even heard before. You know, I think that's like really important.
I agree 1000%, because like you said, with anything, to tie it back in, when people tell me, or you see the comment where it's like, oh, rap is terrible now. Oh, the fuck it isn't.
Rap's
you can't tell me that like JID doing everything that he's doing and rap is dead. Oh, R&B in the gutter right now. With Masego, I mean, SZA's a pop star. It's crazy. She's everywhere, so she don't even count in this particular example. But you know, let's just say like Masego, a little bit more niche, but like brilliant music, a saxophonist and an amazing vocalist and writer, right? Uh, even Raven Lene, a little bit more niche, but that just tells me that you're not looking, that you're only eating what they feed you. They put the
Exactly.
slop in front of your face and you just, oh, I guess I'll fucking eat the slop. It's like, no, like put that shit aside. I'll fucking eat the gulag food. Okay, I'm in the gulag. No, like look.
Right.
And I would say, like, for anything like that is a better way to live, like Dean was saying, like with, instead of just taking what they give you, food, ideas, ways of life, uh, ways of thinking, let alone your music, the shit you got in your fucking Spotify playlist, at least look for that.
Exactly.
Because I mean, like that's, when I make music, if we're talking about a why, that's a dopamine rush. When I hit that, like literally that clip that you found on that TikTok, bro, when I put that together and then it's just wow, dun, 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 I'm
Right.
fucking brain explosion.
My brain fucking exploded when I heard that shit.
Right.
Honestly.
But and I appreciate
"Man."
that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. But like as a civilian, somebody that's not making music, that can't just get God's airdrops, just turn on your Bluetooth and get that for yourself.
Exactly.
The least you could do is at least kind of like, all right, let me find some associated playlists, at least go on Rap Radar, and at least find some other popping shit, as opposed to just like, cool, I guess this is just what they gave me now. This is the thing thrown in front of my face. Like, you could be giving yourself literally, and I said the brain explosion thing, just to be like, you get so many more dopamine hits, so much more endorphins in your body, more, right. You might be running more just because you find some more drum and bass, just get you in the mood,
Exactly. And
if you look. No, you go ahead.
You just need to look. Like literally, Spotify's algorithm is specifically constructed to introduce you to new music, because one thing to know about music is it's important to, if you're interested, it's important to look around for new music. And so Spotify is the perfect streaming platform for that shit. You have Rap Caviar, for example. You like rap music. Here, let's put you on some other rappers, and they might have a connection to introduce you into something new. They might say something that you've never heard before. You might, or like you've never heard before. It might be inspirational. Me and Dean are recently getting into house. I mean, I don't want to say like very recently, but like July, maybe June, July, we've been like getting into it. And Dean introduced me to the Housework playlist, which is a bunch of just house shit that all transitions into each other like one big fucking song.
Yeah.
That's what, like, see, and I'm listening to that because I'm like, you know what? I like want to learn more about house music. I want to find more house music. The other thing you could do is, if you're ignorant, like if you're like just ignorant enough to not go through playlists, is look up your local venues and find a $20, $25 show from some artists that you've never heard of before and watch what happens to you. I don't listen to R&B music. Like literally the most I've done is SZA, maybe.
Or that big ass flyer that's behind you.
Oh, okay, that doesn't count. let me unblur for the views. I have that thing on the wall. Love Frank Ocean, but I mean that's like the most I've done. I mean, Frank Ocean and SZA maybe. And so my friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna go." Dean wasn't in this specific situation, unfortunately. I wish Dean came to this because it was one of the most uncomfortable experiences of my life.
Oh shit!
Like,
you need your comfort home.
Go to this concert because there's an artist that one person was familiar with named John Vinyl, and John Vinyl is R&B, just great singer, awesome singer. And I was like, okay. So I put on a song and I was like, cool, I'm gonna go to this concert because I know at concerts you don't go for just one artist unless it's fucking Playboy Cardi in 2018. That guy was the only person performing that night, which was crazy. But we went to this concert and I found 5 new R&B artists that I think are insane. You know,
Very
you
nice.
have I forget the first opener's name, but you have Aaron Page, for example. Aaron Page is very fresh, very young, new artist. You have a guy named Perry. You have John Vinyl, and the headliner was Tone Stith. Tone Stith, you might be familiar with. I'm not sure if you are.
He actually went. You used to go to the 24 that I used to work at that I go to now. He's
Really?
dope as fuck. Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I went to
he's
his
talented as
concert.
hell.
Very talented, very amazing singer. I just personally, when I go to his concert again, no, frankly, I was the only guy. Okay, let's be realistic. There was maybe 5 guys in a group of 100 women. Just
That's amazing.
it's an amazing thing
for
to
Tone
be
and for you.
right. So I'm
It's
happy.
amazing.
But as a result, Tone Stith became very comfortable with taking off his shirt and getting very close to the audience. I was in the front row. I
Oh,
was in breathing distance from this guy's nipples, and like frankly, if this is a thing that's going on at these concerts where just like a bunch of women are attending and a beautiful man is up on stage, yeah, I'm either gonna stand in the back or spend my money on another ticket elsewhere. But it's something that I did. I went to the R&B show and found R&B artists that I enjoy and like listening to. And then from there, if you want to go deeper into it, Spotify, again, thank you, Spotify, has the fans also like section where it's like you click fans also like, and it gives you millions of artists that are similar to like the artists that you are listening to currently that you like. Expand yourself, find new shit. That's one of the best ways to do it. Either go on Spotify, go on those playlists, or go to a fucking concert that you've never heard of in your life.
right.
100%.
That is the way.
So
That is the way.
we've talked a lot about music today. We've talked about a lot about like multi-genre shit. I'm glad this was a really like powerful subject in our podcast today. But J Noir, you have been trapped almost. Dean,
You fell right into our trap.
you fell right into our trap
Fuck.
because now we know too much. So what we're gonna do now to really, really this is an evil thing that we do. But it's a fun game that we play. It's called the car game. We don't have like a set name for it yet. I don't think we ever will, but it's the car game. Basically how it goes is Dean's a car guy. I'm not a car guy. We're going to go back and forth listing off cars. And you're going to tell us what song you would be playing in that car.
Okay.
It could be your song. It could be someone else's song. But
Okay.
which one are you going to play in that car? And Dean, go ahead and start us off.
I got you. And I will add that the car game has kind of evolved in a sense that it used to start out to being like, oh, what would you play in this car or that car, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of evolved into being like, oh, what would you play in this specific scenario?
Mhm.
Or
With the car included.
it's kind of evolved, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still the car game. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
But in any case, so imagine yourself, right? So you got a beautiful sunset, right? You're driving down the California coast, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not the I-5, but you're driving down the California coast, right? And you're in a
Right.
convertible. What song are you gonna play?
Man.
What's the first thing that comes to your head?
Been Away by Brent Fayez.
Ooh. Okay. Elaborate.
Some player shit. And I like that Timberland bounce that that's just go-to player music right there. I'll probably play that or another song off that same project, Let Me Know by Brent Fayez, but that's just like
Right.
that's those are like kind of like my somber player anthems. But yeah, probably Been Away by Brent Fayez, yeah.
100%.
Probably and most likely really because I've been going down the one or I'll go to Santa Monica off the 405 playing that anyways. So I've done that before, just not in a convertible. So be happy to do that with the top down.
With the top down. Exactly. Okay. You're in. Oh, let me think. Okay, so you've gotten 50 bicycles and you've combined them into the shape of a car. and you put an engine in it. And now this thing goes remotely fast, like maybe 30, 40 miles per hour. And Paris Fashion Week has introduced their mega-sized runway. And you're driving your new contraption down the runway. What song are you listening to?
Hold on. I'm gonna find it right now. There's one that definitely just popped in my head. France by Opal.
Oh, interesting. Elaborate.
It's a very not kind of like down tempo house might be like, and that might be a whole different genre that I'm saying, but when I say down tempo, I mean like as opposed to the typical 120 BPM to 130 BPM, this might be around like 116, but it's still boom, boom, boom. But it just gives me that Paris Fashion Week vibe.
Right.
It feels Parisian. It feels but also like I'm gonna be doing this type of shit. Fucking Egyptian.
The Egyptian.
You know what I mean? Waving the arms. I'm dancing
like
I'm dancing with a chick that's like 6'3", 90 pounds. She's probably at New York Fashion Week, you know what I'm saying? But we just like just going crazy.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like. And I think based off the scenario, definitely France by Opal. Well, I could play it after. You'll see what I mean. It would fit quite nicely on my super bike.
Your mega bike.
My mega bike.
All right, Dean.
All right. I'm thinking of a crazy scenario right here.
Oh, Dean with the crazy scenarios. Dean, while you think about that, Dean has always been doing this car game, just listing off a single car. No scenario, nothing. Dean's getting crazier and crazier with these.
He's a madman.
Every episode. I used to be like, what would you play in a Tesla? But now it's kind of evolved into all these crazy scenarios, this and that. So
love it.
Let's imagine that you're at this underground club, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just like it would typically be like some kind of like small artist playing, but instead they kind of have like an art and light show going on, right?
Okay.
So you got guys on the stage, they may be like on a unicycle, like there's just people just like partying like all around. You know what I mean? Like it's a little chaotic in a sense, but everyone's kind of on the same wavelength in terms of like, the vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, what's the kind of song that comes to your head to, I guess, fit that environment?
So I'm in an underground scene, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my head is like some techno shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like like it sounds like you're drilling through
like
the fabric of reality. I don't know them. I'd have to go like Carl Cox.
Ooh.
Carl Cox, yeah. Let me see. I just added this Carl Cox song that I feel like I probably should have known much sooner. See the Sun Rising. Carl Cox, See the Sun Rising. Just if we're talking about underground scene, I'm seeing just a lot of fishnets and colorful hair and neon lights and just sweaty bros, and there's water on the floor, and I only realized after I've left that the toilet was flooded and it was all just fucking in the toilet water. But yeah, some Carl Cox.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm gonna have to check that out too. I'm
keep hitting me with it, but I'm gonna drop what I've been mentioning in the chat for us.
Please do.
But yeah, hit me with another one.
Actually, in that scenario, I have a song that I would play too. I put it in the chat earlier.
I did look it up.
It's Goldie. I mean, it's Terminator by Goldie. Wow, powerful song. Just a lot of like, just like kind of manipulated drum and bass shit.
Right on.
That, like deep, dark, kind of like techno drum and bass style. Oh,
like breakcore.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Chaos.
Very chaotic, interesting song. All right. You're going to an F1 race. You're going to an F1 race. You're not.
I'm like in Monaco.
Oh, let me think of a city. Let's say Austin. Austin just recently.
Okay.
an F1 track over there. So you're not driving in the F1 race, but you're transporting one of the cars that will be driving to the
Oh,
F1
wow.
race. You just have that free 30 minutes to drive that car from wherever you are to the F1 race. What song are you playing?
And I'm in Austin.
Yep, you're in Texas.
Shit. I'm trying to think of what I was playing in Houston last time I went, but I can't even remember that. First thing that comes to mind though, When My Train Pulls In by Gary Clark Jr. with the live version.
Oh, interesting.
Very bluesy.
Please
And like
drop it in the chat.
two ridiculous solos. Emphasis on the live version.
Well, what's different about the live version than like the
Just him and the guitar, bro. Him and his motherfucking guitar and the vocals.
just beautiful?
And it's just a whole lot of soul. Beautiful shit. Beautiful as fuck. Whole lot of soul.
Thank God for that. Thank God for blues.
Thank God for blues, bro.
Dean, do you have any other ones?
Shit. Hold on.
Usually
I
we
was
only
I
do,
was
like,
not I was
4 or
spacing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I was about to say, I was like, what would you play at a football stadium? But then you can just play like the NFL theme on Fox. You know what I mean? I think that's
Yeah.
that's kind of a given. But
Yeah.
But if you had
Hmm.
football stadiums like size speakers, what would you play? Like if you were in the
Ooh.
stadium, you could play any song you want.
Am I playing? Okay, so I'm an empathetic guy, so I'm thinking about my audience. Is it just me and
You're
my
alone.
homies? I'm alone. I'm just
Ooh,
faded as
alone in
hell
the-
alone in a stadium. That's hard. Hard is cool, a little difficult, but man, I'm playing my music. I'm playing my beats. I'm probably playing that beat that brought us here to this interview right now and just checking it on the motherfucking big sound, the
Hey.
super surround sound. Boom,
You gotta
boom,
do the
boom.
car test. You have to do the stadium test.
Gotta do the stadium test.
Gotta do the
And
stadium.
like, you remember that old, like, what it feels like to chew 5 gum and the motherfucker was on the beach. That's me on the grass. Just-
They got to use one of your beats in one of those commercials.
I'm working on that. I'm literally looking up. I've been researching that, like how to submit for quote unquote commercial use, but commercial TV shows,
Right.
you know, sync licensing. Definitely been looking into that. So been working on that for sure.
100%. It's such a good way to get your music out there.
Yeah.
That's how Vince Staples did it. Dean, I think you were the one that told me that.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about that, I believe, like 2 nights ago.
Like, literally, like with Wyatt when Wyatt was
Yep.
here. Vince Staples on the movie scores is how he got his name. He was just that's exactly how he was doing it. And we were talking to Function Space about this on episode 4. What restaurant would you make like a jingle for if the restaurant doesn't have a jingle already?
That's right.
He said Chipotle.
That's smart.
Chipotle.
That's smart. And I do actually eat there. I was thinking like it'd be kind of crazy to make like an In-N-Out thing and go like a little bit. I don't know if you know the group like Surfaces, but kind of emphasize kind of like the beach Cali vibe, a little bit of bossa nova in there with a nice little drum beat, and just
Okay,
you know
I'm gonna need to
In-N-Out
look that
jingle
up.
it.
That sounds beautiful to me. We're gonna put this.
Hold on one second. Surfaces is the group I was referring to. Let me see what their songs are. Very smooth listening.
They do look like LA guys.
Yes, and they sound like it too.
You know what song I would play in a football stadium?
You've actually heard this. Low key, this is kind of TikTok music, so I hope we can be friends after this.
No,
but
that's chill. That's chill. I'm open. You know, have you guys heard Space Song by Beach House?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm playing in a football stadium.
Space on by Beach House.
That's ethereal right there.
That's some ethereal.
You're selling me on it.
Or some shit by Black Midi.
Wait, Space Song, was that sampled for Money Trees?
Oh, I don't know. If it was,
Because
I have it already.
It might be yeah, I mean, it might be a Beach House song, but I don't know if it's that one specifically.
Yeah, it's definitely a Beach House song, but I know I have this, and I haven't forayed too deep into Beach House, but the fact that I have it, it's kind of making me think like, yo, it might be that one. So
Damn,
that's funny you say that.
that gave me crazy deja vu because I was talking with somebody
Oh
about
yeah, it was
how like a bunch of
sorry, it was
different.
Silver Soul by Beach House.
Yeah, it was Silver
Okay.
Soul. Okay. I was talking with somebody about or maybe it was just a playlist that I found on Spotify or something like that that just like kind of got me like thinking and like so interested. But like there's so many like just even like so many popular rap songs out there where the sample is just taken from a song that's like not even like a few years older than that song, you know,
Mhm.
and like it's just so like there's so many different genres that inspire like this one song, like whether it's like it could be a Drake song, it could be a Kanye song, it could be a Kendrick song, like a lot of those songs that like you go and you listen to them or you look at them on Spotify and they have like hundreds of millions of plays, and then you go find the original song that it was sampled from, and it's like they have like 10,000 plays or something like that.
Right.
It's that's just so crazy to me.
It is. It is. Like even just the fact that Ninth Wonder. Do you guys know Hiatus Coyote?
No.
Ooh, that
Really
sounds
cool.
familiar.
Really good group. Really good group. They're from Australia. They're right by one of you guys, you know, since you've been kidnapped. But
They're next to Psy. They're next to Psy.
yeah, they're next to side. But really beautiful, beautiful sounds, amazing lead vocalists. I'm gonna just put Molasses. This is one that gives me like an orgasm. But Laputa is also a good one. But long story short, pretty much like a neo soul jazzy quartet from Australia. Ninth Wonder, prolific hip hop producer, samples them for Duckworth at the end of Damn,
Oh
and
shit.
samples like three of them. So just like how you're talking about, might not be like 10,000, maybe more like 100,000, the odd million here and there, but literally samples like three of their beats and flips them into one song that ends up for one of Kendrick's craziest songs. So I agree.
It all
All that
comes
said,
from the mother beat.
the mother beats.
If the mother beat
All
is
hail the
hard,
mother beats.
if the song is hard and it sampled another song, 99.99% chance that that song is just as hard, if not harder.
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
That's
And
how it goes.
J Noir, this is the evil turnaround of the podcast over here. It's our second game. We're in
Okay.
your walls. There are cameras everywhere.
I fucking knew it.
You see that Gibson guitar that you own. Yep.
Yep.
We're everywhere. But that's not the point. We're going to play a final game, which is a lot shorter. But this is really going to test everything that you said today. Okay. And it's called the not official name, the What's on Your Phone game. Basically, without touching your phone right now, show us the last song that you were listening to on Spotify.
I am actually pro capitalism, and thus I'm on Apple Music. Is it
That's not showing.
no, it's too
It's a
blurred
little
out.
blurry.
A little
A
blurry.
little blurry.
Okay. It is I've Known Rivers by Gary Bartz.
Oh.
Very jazzy. And I believe I forgot what it is, but I think it's either a poem by why am I forgetting his name? I'm actually appalled that I'm forgetting his name right now. Prolific. It's either a poem by Langston Hughes or James. He wrote in Paris. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh my God. Damn, this is disrespectful. The people need to know. I'm trying to find like his book right now. Fuck. James. Long story short, it's based off a poem that is turned into like a jazz standard. And it's actually pretty beautiful. But I'll put it in the chat for you. But it's Gary Bart's I've Known Rivers. And it's just like, I've known rivers.
Cool. All right, Dean. Your turn.
Damn. Okay, well, I was looking up an example on Spotify of like of like a song that I knew had like a weird sample. The example I was gonna bring up is like, you know, the song Six God by Drake.
Yeah.
That song actually samples
Donkey Kong.
one of the melodies from Donkey Kong Country, like the original Donkey Kong Country video game. I'm pretty
So
sure it's like a really like sped up version when they took that sample.
dude, I think that sample chop is one of the cleanest sample chops that has ever happened.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yes.
okay, like I was gonna mention that, but as far as like songs that I was listening to, it was actually it's called Trip Asia by Clooney.
Okay.
Looney.
I don't know if you're familiar with Clooney or not, like
Not at all.
Cloonee, but his songs are just insane because like they start out like I guess like compared to normal house beats, like they start out kind of like bare bone, like they're very simplistic, but then they always like build up to be like this just crazy bass, just crazy, just something like a headbanger, you know.
Yeah. It's
You know,
Trip
not
Asia.
yeah, it's called Trip Asia, like one word.
Trip Asia. Okay.
Dang.
Definitely
But
checking
it's
him out.
not like it's not anything like super electronic, but it's just great to bang your head to, you know.
Hey, that's all you need.
Seriously. And then I was most recently listening to Feels Like a Wheel by Death Grips.
Oh, that's a
There's a
surprise.
Death
Wow.
Grips, but actually before that I was listening to, let's pick something, you know, like the second to last thing I was listening to was Lonely Desires by Turnstile. I
Ooh.
was listening to some Turnstile.
Turnstile. I haven't dived into Turnstile.
It's an addiction. You listen to Turnstile one time and you will never stop.
I'll never turn back.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had an amazing conversation with Jordan or J Noir today. Excellent producer, excellent musician, excellent artist from the Los Angeles area. Let me really emphasize from the Los Angeles area. I have so much respect for artists from the Los Angeles area because let me tell you this. There's a fuck ton of creativity in LA. I have playlists on playlists of every time I've gone to LA and walked into a random Abercrombie and Fitch store and found music that I've never heard in my life. That's just beautiful, you know. Great place for creativity, and it has spawned an amazing artist, J Noir, over here. And so now we have to do the thing. You know, we are a company after all. This job interview, how did it go? You know, how did it go? Dean's going to tell us. Dean, start with the hiring process.
J Noir, it has come time. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I got a posture up. It's come time that we discuss the hiring process. Now, with the hiring process, you may not have known this, but every one of your responses, when we looked at your resume, every one of your responses has been recorded and has been taken into consideration by the Job Hunt LLC. And taking all those factors into consideration, we have decided to hire you onto the Job Hunt LLC. Congratulations, J Noir. How do you feel? How do you feel?
Honored, sir. Ready to come to, sir. When can I start?
You're starting right now.
All right.
And actually, Dean is going to assign a role to you right now as well. Dean, what is J Noir's role in our company?
That's a good one. Alex, what do you think? What do you think?
Okay. Well,
'Cause
recently
I think we need to we got to group discuss this.
we have to group discuss this because honestly, what's been going on is from episode 1 to 10, we filled out all the main roles except for Woozy. Woozy was our very first hire in the company. He's now started a union against us and has quit 25 or 26, 29. He quit yesterday again. But we're gonna hire. That's our meeting later, right? That's our 4 o'clock meeting. Yeah, that's our 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're gonna hire him again. Besides Woozy, all of our biggest roles, our head of accounting, our head of marketing, our head of design, everything. And actually yesterday or 2 days ago, we hired Sydney Beecraft, who is our creative director, are all getting taken up. You know, so either we establish a new main role for J Noir because clearly we have a creative mind over here, or we start a partnership. We start a partnership with one of the other hirees in the company. I mean, we have Sheik, who is our video DJ, right? Was he a video DJ? That's exactly what he was. He does all the music, whatever, and the video After Effects shit. We also have Rosaltadi, who is our head of accounting. We have Tyreek, who's the head of marketing.
Ooh, I got one.
What's it gonna be?
Because J Noir, he gets people, bro. He's
gets
compassionate.
people.
He understands how people works. He understands the human psyche. And that's why I think he should be head of human resources.
Head of human resources, bro. We need one.
Because if there's something that we lack, it's customer service. And by customer service, I
dude,
mean
calm
there is
down.
no customer service.
You're not supposed to say that publicly, Dean. Come on,
Look,
we
man,
just
like,
beat the case.
We got to start being transparent. That's all I'm
That's what-
saying.
Also, Marcus just got fired.
See?
Is another thing. And maybe if we had a good leader of the HR department, he might have not gotten fired because people are speculating that he's going to start working for the Job Hunt LLC soon. And that's not what we want, right? Fuck the Job Hunt LLC. J Noir, welcome to the Job Hunt LLC. You are now our head of the human resources department, which we really, really, really needed. We can talk about pay later. Again, we won't do that publicly. But hey, welcome to the company.
Happy to resource humans.
I think he's thinking of a different human resources.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I could have.
He's gonna he's gonna bring humans into the company.
Only the good ones. The
Only
ones we
okay.
like.
So we have a hero. We don't have another Woozy who we can have a whole lore episode. We can have a 2-hour long episode about how Woozy has impacted the Job Hunt LLC. But on a serious note, J Noir, thank you so much for hopping on this podcast today. Thank you for giving us so much good music suggestions, because honestly, that's like the second proudest thing of this entire podcast. We have a whole list. Me and Dean, we're driving to downtown Phoenix tonight, for fuck's sake. We have a bunch of shit we need to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, just very talented person. Again, if you don't follow J Noir on TikTok, I think you should. J Noir, do you want to plug your TikTok really quick?
J Noir Music, JNOIR, MUSIC, Apple, Spotify. You can find me, J space NOIR. The music video for the single 5555 is out. And you can hear what I'm talking about. If I'm actually making some good music, let me know. If not, roast me. I'll take it as feedback and go fucking stronger. And I am the single that they're talking about that they heard on TikTok will be out February 2nd. As soon as we're done exchanging music that you guys don't get to hear after this call, I'm going to be working on the album art and then going to do Postmates. But I am a little tidbit for you guys that are listening and made it to the end of the podcast and you make music. Submit your music a month earlier in advance so you can get onto the editorial playlist, which is what I'm trying to do now. So slipped into coming out February 2nd, posting in advance. Album artwork going to be done by me. Stay tuned, and there will be an amazing album coming out 2023. Stay locked in. Follow the journey. History is being made.
Let's fucking do it. Everyone, thank you for watching. Let me also say this, and I've never said this at the end of a podcast before. If you want to be a part of the podcast, send us an email. Job Hunt, the Job Hunt LLC at gmail.com. Send us an email. Marcus got fired, so I'll be in charge of looking at the emails until we rehire Marcus, because I know that guy's going to be crawling back on his fucking knees. Okay. to start editing our videos again for us. Send us an email if you want to be part of the podcast. If you know someone that wants to be a part of the podcast and you're not like necessarily like a creative yourself that wants to be on the show, if you know someone that would like to be on the podcast, reference us. Come on, we're the fucking CIA. I mean, we're the Job Hunt LLC. We can find anyone. Okay, so send us an email. But for those who don't want to take any part in the Job Hunt LLC, I don't blame you. Press the like button. We have a couple company events. We have the press the like button event that you can participate in. We have the press the subscribe button event, which you could also participate in. And Dean, what was all the one you said last time?
Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell icon, dude.
Hit the bell icon. Don't be goofy.
Don't be goofy. Fuck it. You get one notification maybe every 2 weeks that we post. Is that really gonna piss you off? Is it really gonna piss you off?
It's
really
gonna be more
quick.
than what you're getting anyways. Just go ahead and just tap in.
Exactly. Expand your mind, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And share the podcast. Share it with your mom, your dad, your siblings, if you have any. Share it with
Your crush.
Your crush.
And if she don't like it, drop her.
if
Because she ain't
she-
worth it anyway. She would have got fired.
But be careful, because if
Facts.
she likes it, Dean's gonna steal your bitch.
But that's an
Perhaps-
honor to have Dean steal your bitch.
It's too
By
easy.
Dino-matic.
Dinomatically will get your bitch. All right. So share,
And you
like,
get
subscribe.
and that's a story you get to tell. That Dino-matic stole your bitch.
And it's too
So go
easy.
ahead, hit the bell icon. It's too easy. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
like Drake stealing your bitch. I'd flex that. Nah, never mind.
Exactly.
You know what? Hey, everyone, have a good night if you're watching this. And if you stayed until the end, comment the word Dinomatic, and we'll send you a little gift. All right. Job Hunt LLC is out. Have a good night.
Good night.